Ned Eckersley scored an exceptional 133 not out as bottom club Leicestershire made life very difficult for hosts Essex on the opening day of the LV County Championship match in Chelmsford. Acting captain Matt Boyce won the toss and batted first, a spot-on decision which worked for his team right from the start. Runs came at quite a rate in the early exchanges, with both Leicestershire openers, Niall O'Brien and Greg Smith, playing some fine shots on another sweltering hot day in the southeast. An excellent batting surface at the Essex County ground and a lightning-quick outfield made life as a bowler a little uncomfortable, as David Masters and Graham Napier are soon discovering. Napier did try hard, and this effort ball from the all-rounder had Smith on the floor. The bowler was then convinced that he'd broken through after half an hour and was mystified as to why this shout for LBW against Smith was not answered in the affirmative. Those moments of concern out of the way, Smith and O'Brien were now able to get their side off to a cracking start against a team which this season has had some memorable days and some horrible ones. Nobody is ever quite certain what you're going to get out of them from one day to the next. On this occasion, they came up against two batsmen who looked in fine fettle. O'Brien especially. He raced to a 50 from only 52 balls, this being one of his 8 fours. However, he was out in the next over, Tymal Mills's pace proving to be too much for the defensive shot as the Irishman departed for 51 at 91 for 1. Smith was also out before lunch, top-edging a pull off a Tom Craddock long hop, which somehow found its way into the hands of Masters as Smith went for 46. Leicestershire also lost Joe Burns after the break for 8, but then Eckersley began to impress. He started this summer so well, but hasn't made a really telling score in a while, but he was the one man to take full toll of the ideal batting conditions on this occasion. His half-century arrived with this guide to third man off Masters, a shot which brought him his 4th 4 to go with 1-6. He'd been at the crease for 104 deliveries and had taken 69 balls to strike his first boundary. He shared in a 97-run stand with Shiv Thakur, who was out for a patient 36 when he edged Craddock to O.A. Shah shortly before tea. But the last session belonged wholeheartedly to Eckersley and the visitors, most notably Boyce. Bowling cannot have been that easy in the baking hot weather, and if the Essex attack was tiring in the evening, then these two batsmen certainly took full advantage. Leg spinner Craddock, who impressed against England, losing his 5-wicket haul as the match lost its first-class status, was unable to repeat his heroics there, offering the occasional 4-ball as this pair of batsmen started to develop a very handy partnership on what was one of Leicestershire's best days of the summer. It certainly was for Eckersley. He whacked a short ball from Craddock for his second 6. On his way to an excellent 100, which arrived off his 199th delivery. This was the shot that took him there for the second time this season, his 12th 4 to go with those 2 maximums. And he didn't open the door to Essex in the final half hour or so, as he closed in on his career best of 137, made against Glamorgan last year. Boyce kept him company for 2 hours as this pair added an unbroken 116 runs for the 5th wicket to ensure that the day belonged to their team. Both batsmen have the chance to score plenty more on day 2 when conditions will be similar. Eckersley needs only 5 more for his personal best as he goes again on 133, while Boyce has 37 runs to his name out of Leicestershire's 328 for 4.